Xickle.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Coles, CEO of Xickle LLC, the makers of Xickle RBC Plus, a supplement for people with sickle cell disease. Let me give you a little background on Xickle RBC Plus. It's spelled Xickle, but we pronounce the X like an S, so it's sickle like in sickle cell. Before there was Xickle, there was a product called Niprosan. You might have heard of Niprosan. It was developed in Nigeria and approved for the treatment of sickle cell disease. It reduced the pain and crisis of children with sickle cell and also improved their attendance in school. Unfortunately, the company that made Niprosan went out of business and it's no longer available, but there is some good news. My company, Xickle, acquired the original Niprosan formula and greatly improved it for our product, Xickle RBC Plus, also called SCD-101. Xickle has over 4 times the anti-sickling activity of Niprosan. That's excellent for those with sickle cell. SC-101 or Xickle is also in clinical trials and has already been shown to improve the quality of lives of patients with sickle cell. The road to FDA approval of Xickle is long and complicated. In the meantime, the FDA says we can sell Xickle RBC Plus as a supplement. We just can't say that it's a treatment for sickle cell. You can order Xickle directly from our website, www.xickle.com. If you have more questions about Xickle, send us a note from the website, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. You can also call our toll-free number, 855-994-2553. Hope all is going well for you. Be well and stay safe. Thank you.
Hello, TOVA community. My name is Dr. Nina Anderson, but you can call me Dr. Nina. TOVA Community Health's mission is to provide comprehensive, compassionate, holistic care and outreach to individuals with complex medical conditions like sickle cell anemia and trait. I have been named Best Holistic Medicine Practitioner, and I am a sickle cell expert. Why are plant-based supplements needed? It has been 100 years since sickle cell disease was described in the literature, and there was only one drug available, hydroxyurea. The FDA has approved 3 more drugs, Indari, Oxybrita, and Adakveo. Chronic transfusions and hydroxyurea can help reduce sickle pain, flare-ups, and hospitalizations, but come with side effects. Bone marrow transplant and gene therapy are only for a very few people. They are expensive treatments and come with risk. The precursor to Niprosan was Xickle SCD-101 and Xickle RBC Plus. All have been shown to be effective in treating sickle cell disease. The sorghum plant is an ancient staple crop in Africa. Traditionally, the sorghum plant has been used by healers in the treatment of anemia and other health conditions in Africa. The sorghum plant does not require a lot of water to grow. It was originally brought from Africa with the slave trade to the New World, the United States. Sorghum is an animal feed, a grain, and is also made into syrup. Did you know the U.S. is the top producer of sorghum, followed by Mexico, India, Nigeria, and Argentina? Xickle is an African plant-based sickle cell supplement. When we talk about the use of plants and herbs for the purpose of a cure and mitigation of ailments in humans, we use the term phytomedicine. Plants have long been used for medicinal purposes by humans before recorded history. The National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, NIPRID, in Nigeria, was established in 1987 to manage sickle cell disease. NIPRID encouraged traditional and herbal medicine use through proper documentation, verification, and standardization of plant-based medicines. Before the sickle supplement came along, there was Niprosan. In 2003, Niprosan was developed as a treatment for sickle cell. In 2004, Niprosan was approved as a treatment for sickle cell by the Federal Drug Agency, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, as an orphan drug. The production of Niprosan ceased in Nigeria in 2009 due to financial difficulties. But there's good news. The Niprosan formula has been greatly improved and is now available as Xickle RBC Plus and is also in clinical trials as SCD 101. There is research to support the anti-sickling properties in the sorghum leaf. According to the British Journal of Hematology, researchers found that transgenic mice with sickle cell using Niprosan have better survival rates than those study participants in the control group who did not receive Niprosan. Also, Niprosan reduced sickling in the lung tissue and improved oxygen carrying capacity. The British Journal of Hematology also published a study that found anti-sickling effects from Niprosan in vitro studies.
Steve White is a user of Xickle, and I guess you have been for quite a while, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So tell me your experience. How has it worked for you?
It has worked tremendously well for me. I realize I have less fatigue. I can get a good night's sleep most of the time. Also, less pain, less crisis, less hospital visit.
Oh my gosh.
All across the board, it's been a plus in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, that is the best result that we can expect from using Xickle. How long have you been using it? I saw the orders, but I haven't really kept track of each individual. So tell me.
I see. Well, I was in the clinical trial at first, and then move on from the clinical trial. I think I was away from Xickle for possibly a year and a half, and then I came back to it, and it's been ever since. So I started back on it, I say back in October of 2019. I think I started back on it, and I've been on it ever since until this day.
Mm-hmm. And tell me more about your life before you started using Xickle.
Constantly in chronic pain from my condition, and also couldn't sleep well at night, wake up 3-4 times a night. And it's not being able to work, but not being able to work to 100% because of sometimes just the fatigue and the pain kicks in. It just caused me to not be able to perform at my optimal job. My best, perform at my best.
Well, really, we're really glad to hear that. Actually, you mentioned improved sleep, even though that's something we really haven't done in the clinical trials. It's something that people oftentimes report.
I didn't get it from my doctor. I had to order it a year's supplies worth in Nigeria. So when I went to nursing school, finally got in, I ordered 2 year supplies of Niprosan to make sure I made it through. And it didn't magically happen. And my experience is that one day I just started hurting less and being able to do more. And here's the key.
When was that? When did you start that?
That was 2007, maybe. I think so. 2007 is when I took my first, I'll say, dose of the Niprosan type formulation. And I waited. It was nothing special. I opened it first. It's dirt. Like, if you really want to know what's in the capsule, I looked at it. I was like, they sent me dirt in the mail. I'm like, okay, which is kind of what a phytomedicine is, right? Or tea, same thing, right? Same concept. Lo and behold, point taken is that after a couple of months, I started to have some little mini pains, like in my hands and things like this, but I wouldn't have kind of major a crisis. So if you were to rank yours in a scale of pain, the 7, 8s, and 9s did not happen with the same amount of effort. Like, I could get myself there, but I would really have to maybe press it. And at that point, I started actually training in martial arts, specifically. So, well, my apologies. I did that since I was a teenager, but the older you get, I would have crises. So I would get hurt, have to sit in a chair for this, have a cane. It's like being Benjamin Button. You're an old man early. And the reason I took the jump was because I was 25 years old, basically, approximately, and I was afraid to do anything. Really, I was afraid to do anything. I was like, I'm gonna have a crisis. I can't do that. It feels like torture, really. And there's a psychological, after a while of you don't have them, you start to become very anxious that it's gonna come, like everything's going fine. And this is an important part. Even if you're not having them, then you're worried about having them. And this is where Xickle really came in, 9% at the time, came into place, is that just time went on and I just started to have less. And I started to be able to do more. And I could tell, like, I'm less winded.
What is your experience in taking Xickle? How has it affected your life?
Can you be more specific? So because Xickle impacts everything, because I can keep going, it's impacted a lot. Well, I'll just answer. There's 3 things for me that matter. Life expectancy, which no one's been able to fix yet. So we're still working on the mortality bit, but quality. So they talk about mortality, how many years we have, but they do not talk about the quality of our life. These are reasonably new metrics, right? So quality adjusted life years. The point is that, what is it like for me to live? If I'm constantly in fear, if I'm always in the hospital, if I'm worried about different things, then that's problematic. And the ability to be consistent for me was the most important thing. I needed stability when it came to my illness. Even if I still had some pain, I can manage it. So having smaller pains or different things, it reduced the swings. It made it a lot more that I could anticipate when I would be hurting. Like, I would maybe feel it a little bit earlier to then notice. And fitness, truthfully, is that for me, being able to be more active, particularly physically, so I can go longer with higher sustained energy without going into a crisis. And I didn't measure that, but I just know I have the calculus in my own mind of the things that I can do to keep myself well.
The SCD 101 clinical trial found that those who participated reported less pain, less fatigue, improved sleep, and increased exercise capacity. Xickle is currently in the FDA Phase 1 clinical trial studies. There are ongoing clinical trials here in the United States. The objective is to get FDA approval, but that could take several years. In the meantime, we still have Xickle RBC Plus available for you to use.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say to people who might be interested in trying Xickle?
I would say, yeah, I recommend anyone that have issues and struggle with chronic pain, struggling with not being able to find a level of quality of life because of debilitating pain from Xickle might be something that can transform their their outlook and their life, and probably might make their life be more productive. And that's something that they should definitely give it a shot and see what happens. But for the most part, I've had nothing but raving reviews for Sickle, and I've had great outcomes from it. And I say I recommend that they should try it and see what it can do for them.
So I did not have many blood transfusions. I was right at this cusp, and easily I can totter over if I stop paying attention, but it wasn't as severe in that sense. But again, severity in sickle cell, we're talking about, do you die at 12 or 15 or 18? I mean, so this is contextual.
Why not give sickle a try? Less pain, more stability in your life, sustained energy to help you live a better quality of life, and there is no toxicity. Order Xickle now online. You can go to our website at www.xickle.com. Xickle is a plant-based sickle cell supplement with a new and improved product that has more anti-sickle activity. For more information, you can call us toll-free at 855-994-2553 or email us at help@xickle.com. A special thanks to our sponsors, Xickle, the International We Love You Foundation, and TOVA Community Health.
Thank you for joining us for Xickle, a plant-based sickle cell supplement. Why not give Xickle a try? It has been clinically proven to improve those living with sickle cell's overall quality of life. And there's clinical research studies to show its benefit. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for joining us today to learn about Xickle, a plant-based supplement. This is brought to you in partnership with TOVA Community Health.